As promised, it is time for my first in-season, I think, 2026 NFL mock draft. Of note, before we dive in here, these are based on the 2026 Chat Sports Power Rankings for 2025, excuse me. It's weird, it's awkward. If you don't like it, I'll have the link to the Power Rankings in the comments. You can go complain over there. Look, your team's good or it's not. Don't freak out too much about it. I will say this when it comes to the 2026 NFL draft. I have zero idea who is actually going to be the number one pick. Heck, I don't even know who's going to go pro at quarterback. It is wildly unknown because some of the top current players in college football quarterback-wise, among the top betting favorites here, guys like Dante Moore, guys like Ty Simpson, well, they haven't played very much football. Fernando Mendoza is the current betting favorite. I actually don't hate that. LaNorris Sellers has a lot of upside, but he's not a finished product yet. All these guys, pretty much except for Garrett Nussmeier, can go back to school. There's other players who have peaked and fallen, Aller and Arch and all these guys. The quarterback class has a bunch of intriguing options, but nobody yet has cemented themselves as the obvious name, which makes it tough to figure out who the heck is the first quarterback taken in the 2026 NFL Draft. Get your predictions in for me right now in the comments section of today's show. I will do some teasing. I'm just going to ride, for the most part, with the draft odds, and it's so early. If you want to plug in somebody else, I get it. There's like 8 guys you can claim should at least have a chance to go in round 1 of this year's draft. Let's dive in then. Jets pick a number 1 overall. Got to get a quarterback. I'll go with Fernando Mendoza. I'm just kind of going to ride the draft odds order because I don't think anyone knows how the quarterback class will play out. I like Mendoza. He does a lot of the real quarterbacking stuff right. I do wonder just how high his ceiling is. Is it top 5? Is it top 10 among QBs? I do think he offers you enough like actual quarterback play given what the Jets coaching staff did in Detroit, that they think they'd be able to maximize him pretty well. Titans won't go quarterback at number 2 overall. How about maybe the best player in college football, Rueben Bain, the edge rusher out of Miami. Pain for Bain is the draft tanking mantra we're going to go with here. He's been awesome. You know, they lose Harold Landry last year. They don't have another legit edge rusher yet. There's some intrigue with some of the young pieces, but I think Rueben Bain instantly upgrades that Titans defense. I honestly didn't know what to do with the Dolphins at 3. I almost thought about quarterback, but they'll probably give Tua one more year, would be my guess. I'm going to pencil in Peter Woods, the defensive tackle from Clemson. Slow start to the year, doing better right now. We'll see if that continues for Clemson. The Dolphins' defense in general is just a mess. Might be a coaching issue. I get they spent a first-round pick on Kenneth Grant, but they need more that's actually good on that front. Corner is the obvious one, but it's not a corner worth taking in the top 5. They're an obvious trade down candidate. The Raiders at number 4. I think LaNorris Sellers has the most upside of any quarterback in this class with his size, his sheer strength, both like his body strength and his arm strength and mobility. He's not a finished product yet. The Geno Smith experiment kind of feels like a bit of a disaster. I don't know if Pete Carroll wants to develop a young QB, but maybe Tom Brady can do that for Las Vegas instead. Number 5, the New York Giants. I think insert tackle here is going to be a very popular mock draft pick. Let's keep Jackson Dart upright and healthy and help him grow and develop. Mauigoa's got really good talent, ability. I think there is in a kind of strong offensive tackle class, I do think there is the potential that Mauigoa ends up being everything that the Giants have been hoping for as of late. Number 6, the Saints, another edge rusher here, Keldrick Falk out of Auburn. Look, I've waffled between going quarterback here for the Saints, frankly. Cam Jordan cannot play forever. Chase Young is unable to stay healthy. Adding a very talented impact player like Falk makes a lot of sense for a Saints team that is in probably a multi-year rebuild at this time. Who is your favorite player in the 2026 NFL Draft? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Who is your favorite player in this year's class? After a bit of a slow start to the season, Caden Proctor looks a heck of a lot better. That is the offensive tackle out of Alabama. Maybe he just had to get a catch, and that unlocked everything about his game on offense. He is looking like the guy I thought he was going to be, hoped he was going to be, going into this season. Love what he's got. Love his athletic ability. Love the size. Bengals often like the big body tackles. And Orlando Brown might be washed. More offensive tackles here. Again, there's a lot of them that could be in range of that top tackle taken. Spencer Fano. Again, I thought about a quarterback here. If you're finishing out to the top 5, maybe there's enough good quarterback play to justify not taking one early. They do have to protect whoever that quarterback is going to be. Number 9, Caleb Downs out of Ohio State, the safety. Also a player who could be the best player in this year's class. I think he's best in the box. I think he fits pretty well with Trayvon Merrick. Carolina needs an impact piece on defense somewhere. They get one here with Downs. Number 10 is Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver out of Arizona State. I think the Cardinals need one more real pass-catching playmaker that's not Marvin Harrison Jr. and not Trey McBride. It is a lot of investment, but they didn't really address the offense that much last offseason. Today's show is made possible by Ethos, the father of 2 kids now. I'm tired, but it's also not fun to think about what would happen if something happened to you. And you do need to be prepared. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. Ethos is a trustworthy company that disrupts the traditional life insurance industry, and as of March 2025, was named by Business Insider as the #1 no medical exam, instant life insurance provider. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. There is no complicated process, and it's 100% online. No medical exam is required. You just answer a few health questions and get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. 3 million families have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help find the right coverage for them. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. Application times may vary. Rates may vary. That link is in the comment section and the description of today's show. Ravens at 11. I don't really know what to do here, and maybe with the Odafe Oweh trade, edge rusher makes even more sense. But I'm going to go corner. The Chidobe Awuzie, Jair Alexander thing is not working very well. Jerron McCoy is not healthy right now. I hope he gets healthy this season because he was awesome last year for Tennessee. And if he does return to form, there's top 15 pick written all over him. How about the Rams go quarterback here? Let's have some fun. Matthew Stafford can't play forever. And if they ever do, they always hurt and can't play for a season, they're going to be a bad team. I think Dante Moore in a Sean McVay offense would be awesome. This pick, by the way, is via the Falcons as part of their draft day trade last year. You could give him time to learn behind Matthew Stafford if you wanted to. But McVay has kind of reverted back to some under center play action stuff with Stafford. I think Dante Moore, coming from a different offense in Oregon, to be fair, would fit that pretty well. I think one of the more underrated names right now in college football for the draft process is Arvell Reese, linebacker out of Ohio State. He's been awesome for the Buckeyes. Like, I don't know if there's much of a difference between his play and Caleb Downs' play, frankly. He has surpassed Sonny Styles. He can do everything you want out of a linebacker. I think he should be in every single round 1 mock draft, even though he is super young, does not have to go pro yet. All right, so this is the Penn State guard. It's probably a little bit early for a guard, but I actually think interior line is a bigger issue right now for Houston. He goes by Vega Ioane, excuse me. Ola is also another Ola Fashanu type of name, so it's fun. I thought against Oregon, he was awesome. He was really impactful in pass pro as a run blocker. It's probably a little bit early for a guard at 14, but offensive lineman to Houston, plug it in every single mock draft. I think Jeremiah Love is going to be a very popular mock draft pick for me too. Cowboys getting good play out of Javonte Williams. I don't think anyone else is going to go running back quite that early. I don't think Houston would, by the way. Love does have some elements of Jahmyr Gibbs to his game, frankly. So Ben Johnson would love to have him. All right, the Vikings at 16. One of my favorite players, Mansour Delane, the Virginia Tech transfer, who has been awesome this year for LSU, gives the Vikings the legitimate #1 corner that maybe they don't really have, despite piecemealing it together in impressive fashion each and every single season. Patriots get maybe their #1 wide receiver, Mekhi Lemon, which is a fantastic name as as long as he's not a bust, because then the nicknames can turn pretty ugly there. He was lighting up bad competition against Georgia Southern and Missouri State. So how was he going to play against Michigan State, Illinois? 8 catches, 127 yards and a TD, plus a TD on the ground against Michigan State. 11 catches, 151 yards and 2 scores against Illinois. He's really good. Go figure. I also love this fit for the Chiefs. How about Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon? Doesn't have to go pro, he didn't want to. This is your Travis Kelce replacement. Maybe not fair for the Chiefs to get him. Steelers go Ty Simpson out of Alabama. Ty Simpson, much like Dante Moore, it's a very small sample size of play, but the stuff we've seen so far this year has been really good. He maybe didn't have his best stuff in the first game of the season against FSU, but didn't have any interceptions. Since then, his worst game, quote unquote, was against Georgia, where he was 24 of 38 for 276 and 2 scores. He's been lights out so far this year. A lot more challenging games to come. We'll get a better feel for how good he actually is against, programs like Tennessee as they move further into the campaign. How does he look against Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma? But I love what I've seen from Ty Simpson. I think he fits decently the Arthur Smith offense. I think he can definitely do some play action stuff that we know how much Arthur Smith loves. How many quarterbacks go in round 1 this year? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Get those predictions in right now. I will say, I did this Chargers pick in the mock draft before the Odafe Oweh trade. But I was right to point out, hey, they needed some pass rush help. Of note for Odafe Oweh, he is a free agent after this year, so still applies. Getting some pass rush juice is needed. TJ Parker, Peter Downs, Avion Terrell didn't have the best start to their season. They were better last week. It was a bad team. Hopefully that continues. Cassius Howell, the edge out of Texas A&M, has been very impactful. Not the biggest guy, but I think having a pure edge to replace Von Miller in that kind of speedy edge rusher role makes a lot of sense for the Commanders. Kind of don't think Reek Wollen's going to stick around into next season for Seattle. I think something's going to happen there. We'll see. Avion Terrell, bit of a slow start, playing better like Clemson did at least against North Carolina. Another outside corner option. Look, I've been impressed by Josh Jobe, but I've been impressed by Darion Kendrick. I question if those are reliable long-term pieces. Number 23, the Rams take Caleb Lomu, the other offensive tackle out of Utah. Help keep that new franchise quarterback and/or Matthew Stafford upright. Cardell Tate's been balling this year. Every time there's a big play needed to be made, he's the one making. He's benefiting from so much attention being paid to Jeremiah Smith. But Cortland Sutton would get the attention still in Denver. I think that's actually a good fit for Sean Payton's offense. A.J. Harris been a little bit up and down. The UCLA game was a nightmare for everyone at the Penn State program. This pick from the Jags, not as high as the Browns thought it was going to be, it feels like right now. But Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson are both free agents in Cleveland. If you guys want more NFL mock drafts, hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Now the Cowboys get their edge rusher back-to-back the front 7 picks here for the Cowboys. Mateo Uiagalelei, bigger body, good athlete. I'm waiting to see a little bit more dominance, but I've seen flashes of it even more so this year. And the Cowboys love these big body athletic edges too. I'm going to keep mocking a Trent Williams replacement until the day I die for the 49ers, or because I don't know if he's ever going to do it there. Jennings Dunker, who looks like what you would picture Jennings Dunker looking like out of Iowa. He's been really good this year, by the way, for the Hawkeyes. Not everyone is super high on Anthony Hill Jr. I actually think there's a lot of upside and ability there. And I think inside linebacker, look, Sir Bachie Dennis is just getting picked on. Let's try Anthony Hill. And I think some of the best stuff Anthony Hill does is blitzes. I think he's athletic enough to have success there. That fits pretty well with a Todd Bowles defense. Amari Washington, the tackle out of Oregon. Look, the Colts finished 29th. Wow, what a season that was for Indy. But again, it's based on the current power rankings. I did, by the way, adjust to make it make sense of AFC, NFC in each of the last 2 spots because Super Bowl winner and everything there. Grover Stewart's getting up there in age. I don't know how much more he has left. And DeForest Buckner's getting a bit older there. Washington be kind of your long-term piece. How about the other Tennessee cornerback, Colton Hood? Look, the number 2 corner spot for Philadelphia is an eyesore. Get some help. Come on. Bills, a pass rusher. They keep throwing assets at the spot. I get it. Or assets, excuse me. Like, they have to keep trying. Same with the receiver spot, frankly. I think Gregory Rousseau is one piece. I haven't seen anything from Landon Jackson. This is almost a pure pass rusher. It's a different body type than what the Bills have, which makes him a pretty solid fit. Could have gone a lot of different directions here for the Lions at number 32. I'm going to go with L.T. Overton. The Bama can do some inside, can do some outside stuff, which fits, I think, long-term of like he's a base edge and then kicks inside to DT on passing downs, which the Lions don't really have that type of player right now. So grade this 2026 NFL mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Then we will get to the second round picks, because I love the Falcons, Jags, and Packers fans as well. Falcons, I'll go Chris Bell, the Louisville wide receiver. Height, weight, speed profile, production, like adding somebody not named Drake London at wide receiver who's healthy would be beneficial for the Falcons. Dante Corleone, the Godfather. The medical is, I think, actually kind of a pretty big question mark and might be a little bit too much to overcome. But yeah, Mason Smith, Devon Hamilton, those guys haven't lived up to expectations. There's an interior piece for Jacksonville. And under the radar name, Chris Johnson, no, not that one, the San Diego State cornerback. I even got producer Aiden on that one there. He was confused for a second. Has been really good for the Aztecs. And the Packers pretty clearly need to go get a cornerback right now. They don't have enough at that spot. Some other notable prospects I want to mention. I could have done all quarterbacks, like Sawyer Robertson has shown some fun stuff. Josh Hoover, even Brendan Sorsby, some Big 12 guys. I need to see more. Garrett Nussmeier, John Mateer are pretty popular round 1 mock draft picks, but I'm not sold on anybody yet in this class. I think Nuss is also kind of banged up right now. Denzel Boston is a super fun playmaker. Chris Brazel's got the speed and even a bit better route runner than most of these Tennessee receivers are. Trevor Gooseby, I think, is an underrated guy at Texas. They haven't been that good this year. Christian Miller is maybe the best Georgia defensive player, but they kind of look bad, by the way. R. Mason Thomas is an athletic edge. Don't love him against the run, but he could be a sneaky round 1 pick. Lesser names, Jake Golday for Cincinnati's had a really good season. Emmanuel McNeil Warren feels like your first Mid-American Conference player drafted, maybe even top 50. And Rod Moore, medical concerns, but he has been much better for Michigan now that he's healthy.